Hey guys, I'm back at it. Oh, that's a good trail. Going to set up my camera. I got a new one. I was gonna put it on that pine tree, but it's a perfect tree, but it's pretty shady. I need a place where I get some sunlight because I'm gonna run this thing on solar power. So a lot of activity, a lot of birds and bugs. I mean, everything is really, awake this morning. So give you an idea where we're at. It's pretty thick area. Mosquitoes are pretty bad, but I'm thinking this small pine, because there's a game trail that goes through here and goes off into there, and I want to set up a trail cam kind of like in this position to see if what's coming through and stuff like that. So all right, well, I'm going to take everything off. Oh, that's a big lizard. Yeah, look at this lizard. Let me see if I can zoom in. Let's see which tree he's on. That is what we call a brown knoll, and it's an invasive species in Florida. But there's nothing you can do about it. There's billions of them. I mean, almost every single house has them around their house and stuff like that. So pretty common little lizard around here. That's just a big male. He does that thing with his throat where he makes that color. I mean, I'm sure sometimes it's a territorial thing, a warning, but in some cases it could be for mating purposes. Hey, look how pretty I am. But we have a similar lizard called the green anowl, which is actually the only native species of lizard in the state of Florida. And it's the one that's green and it changes color. It'll be brown, but if you put it on something green, it'll turn green. And they get about 4 or 5 inches long, about the same size as those. But the brown anolls are so populated and so aggressive, they force the green anolls higher up into the canopy. So we don't see them as often. I was lucky enough to pull up to my house a couple weeks ago, and there was a green anowl on my deck, and I thought it was really cool that I had one, around my house and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. But of course I got a lot of brown anolls too, so I don't know how long that'll last. All right, well, let me get this gear off and get set up and get this camera mounted, because I have to screw the solar panel into the tree. So all right guys, I'll talk to you in a little bit. well, that's my setup. So I have it completely set up for solar power. I mean, there's batteries in it as well, so if something happens or it's a cloudy day or anything like that, it'll still work. So let's just cross our fingers. I got the settings right and it's gonna work. The last trail cams I had were so frustrating. I just finally gave up and said I'm not dealing with these things. There's another researcher I've sent some photos and some information to, and as soon as we get together, I'll let him take those other 2 cameras and see if he can't figure out what the issue is, and you know, he can use them and practice with them and see if he's got it set right and stuff like that. But I spent some money this time, and you know, I hope it works out. It's a pretty good setup. I have to really put it way back here, man, because if somebody finds it and takes it, man, that would be a bummer. That's a lot of money down the tubes. But all right, well, I don't know if you can see it, but this is why I choose it. It's hard to see on camera, but there's a really good trail that goes through there, and there's definitely some hog activity. Not a lot, but some. A little bit right here. This was the pine tree that I had it up last time, and you can see there's been some hog activity around the tree, but that's the one that it got pulled down, and it was laying on the ground somewhere over in this area. So this one right here's got a lot better straps, and the solar panel is actually on a brace that is screwed into the tree, and that strap is really, really rugged for the camera, and it's a locking mechanism, so should work out just fine. Oh, damn. Thought I had a spider on me. I just jumped. Oh man, because I saw the weirdest looking spider on that tree when I was putting the camera up, and then I'm sitting here in this, let me see, this thing right here, and then my back was turned looking at the camera, and this thing was rubbing my arm. I thought it was a spider. All right, well, I'm not going to stay a lot out here because the mosquitoes are real bad. It's hot. We're in the dead of summer now. We're hitting heat indexes well in the triple digits. Humidity is really, really, really high. Very high humidity. So I'm going to walk around. There's one area that, if you saw the videos in the past where I was talking about this one area that floods, and that was the first time I was ever able to get back there because the waters, you know, it was dry season, there was no water, and I walked back there, and that's where I found that other trail cam. That those are cameras I found out here periodically. I think 4 or 5 in total. They're not civilian use type cameras. That's all I can tell you. They are mounted in a way that there's absolutely, it'd be a very difficult thing to take. Steel cables, stuff like that. But anyways, I want to go over there now after we've had quite a few rains to see how it's holding up. And then I want to walk down that creek where I set cameras up in the past, just to see how much the creek is filled up, and if I see any signs, because if I see anything that shows that it's a corridor for a lot of animals, then I'll set up a camera over there again next time, because we're not far from that creek, maybe a few hundred yards through the forest, and so I'm pretty sure this trackway right here is coming to and from the water source. I think water sources are really, really good, viable places to put trail cams, because everything at some point is going to come down and get a drink of water. You just hope you're at the right spot to catch it. So I'm going to go check that area out real quick and probably head out after that. And I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Take care, guys. That's the area. The first part of it looks pretty dry, but it's hard to see on the camera. But I think as I get further, when it starts to go kind of slopes downward a little bit, about where that shady spot is in the middle of that trail, I think it's starting to hold water. Still in a rainy season, so I think it would still be accessible, but a lot drier than I thought it would be. I've seen it completely underwater, where those pine saplings right there would be underwater. I mean, literally, where I'm standing, I would be underwater. So we're not there yet, but give it time. And we're just starting hurricane season, so we'll see what happens. So very interesting. I'm glad to see it's at least somewhat dry. It's a pretty good deal. All right. We're coming up to the creek. Let's see how it's holding some water. Oh, not too bad. I mean, it's definitely got a lot more water than it had before. It's actually even flowing a little bit. And there's the crazy thing, you can see it flowing right there. I'm seeing, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's minnows in there. Which is kind of crazy, because this was bone dry, so I'm like, where do minnows come from? And there's a lot of them. I mean, there's a lot of minnows in here, so that's kind of interesting. You know, if somebody knows the answer to that, let me know. I'm really interested. You know, because I'm pretty sure people's has ponds and creeks in their area that go bone dry, and but when the rains come, the fish are back. That would be interesting. And I just heard movement. I just heard something brush against something. Only did it once and it stopped. I don't know what direction it came from, I just heard it. Alright. Oh, look at that. Another little rabbit. This is what I was talking about. See how it freezes? He's trying to pretend that he can't be seen. And literally I would have walked by him if he hadn't moved. I mean, look at that. He blends in so well. Yep. That's the second rabbit today. So that's a good sign. There he goes. Something's coming down here because there is a pathway, little game path. Then it goes right down to the creek. So they're either crossing here or they're just coming down to get a drink. Back here is the area that I set up these cameras last time, which I thought was a fantastic spot to put the cameras, but I could not get those suckers to work worth a crap. I try to stay out of these pine saplings because that's all the ticks are at. Definitely a lot thicker than the last time I came out. So I had a camera on that tree right there, and then I had one way down there. So that one was facing towards me right now, and that one was facing towards me. So anything that passed through here would get caught by both cameras at some point. But I got nothing. One camera caught some deer. What the heck? Oh, it's a spider web. I was wondering what was rubbing on me. But that one on the small tree right here caught 3 deer coming from that direction, but the other camera never caught anything at all. But yet the camera caught me coming to get it. So it's very weird. I don't know. Also, what made it a pretty good spot was this arch. It's not one of the best arches I've ever found. There wasn't really anything that was overly spectacular about it. I'll show you it again. It's still here. It's still green, so it's alive. It's a living tree. Let's see here. So you can see it right there. And straight ahead was where that camera was. And then right there was where the other camera was. So, and we have this open area that I'm standing in, and then we got the creek right there. So I thought this was a really good spot to triangulate, and but it didn't work out that way. But I will try it again, absolutely, because I do like this spot for some reason. So yeah, there's the tree I had it on right there, dead center. But this was the arch. This is the end of it. I didn't really pay it a whole lot of attention because I couldn't really see anything that was actually holding it down. Because some trees will do an arch if they're sick, or if they have a specific bug that's burrowed into them. I didn't see anything along it that made it look like it was being eaten up by bugs or anything like that. But I just couldn't tell what was holding it down, because it didn't. I don't like to disturb them too much. But see what I'm saying? I can lift it up if I wanted to, so it's not stabbed into the ground. So, but nonetheless, it was an arch in an area that I wanted to put my cameras. So very active day. I mean, I haven't seen any deer, but birds are going, doves, you can hear the doves, seen rabbits. Pretty. If it was just cooler, today would be a perfect day. But I'm already, my shirt's already drenched in sweat. But at some point, what I would like to do is set up the camera on the other side of that creek. facing this direction. So anything that's coming through here from the arch or anything like that, I'll catch it from the other side of the creek, you know. But anybody that knows me, I'm very, you hear the bobwhite? He's pretty loud. I've seen a lot of them lately. It's been a long time since I've seen the bobwhites. And all of a sudden this year, they're everywhere. So I think that's pretty cool. But anyways, I was gonna show you on the other side of the, on that other side over there is placing something facing this way. I don't want that tree or that tree right there, those two trees, because they're too wide open. And if somebody did decide to hike back here for some, I don't want them seeing my cameras and taking them. So I like to put them deep in the brush. So I'd have to find a really good tree that's hidden, but I can also get some sunlight because I want to use that solar power all the time now. I really like this area right here. Wish they allowed camping, because I would definitely team up with somebody and come out here and camp. But you can't be out here after sunset, so. Who is it hot? Look at the sky, guys. It's just a beautiful day. Beautiful. All right, well, I think that's it for the day. I did what I accomplished. I got the camera up. I got to check out that area to see if it's underwater. I wanted to come back to the creek, check it out. Like I said, I'm definitely going back and setting up cameras in that area right there. I for some reason, something's telling me I need to do that. So, God, so like this pine tree right here would be perfect, perfect. But I'm just so scared at being in the open, somebody's going to see it. Same with that tree right there. That tree is an awesome hardwood. That'd be fantastic. But again, if somebody wanted to find this creek and decide to hike down the creek, I don't want them seeing my camera. So maybe back there somewhere. Maybe I'll try that. It looks like it goes downhill or something back there. But we'll save that for another day. All right.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?